So hi, my name is Melissa Henshaw. I came to Midwestern in 1988. I was 14 years old and I was placed in the Fuquay's house. I was supposed to only be here for a weekend. Ended up spending the rest of my life until I was an adult. And I always was lucky enough to live with the Fuquays. I was looking for stability. I was looking for someone who would love me unconditionally, although I didn't know that's what I was looking at. To say I was a bit of a pain in the neck, I'm sure Danny and Faye would say I was a pretty big pain in the neck. So we started the adoption process when I was 16. Took a little longer than we'd hoped. So I was actually 17 when I finally got the adoption taken care of. So they had 3 other children, Preston, Candy, and Todd, who all welcomed me into their family as well. So it was really great how this was a neighborhood. It was like moving into suburbia, except out in the middle of the country. So if you ran away, you didn't go far. But it was really neat seeing how all the houses worked together. Whether you had a boy house or a girl house, we still were able to get together and do fun things together, be neighbors, share meals. So when I came to Midwestern, I didn't trust anybody. I wasn't gonna love anybody. Nobody was gonna tell me what to do. I was the boss of the world. And I thought at 14, I knew everything. Like every 14-year-old does, I guess. I know my children certainly do. But obviously I didn't know everything. And being able to learn to accept love is difficult when you haven't seen it in your life. So being able to get that love every day. I'm going to tell a story real quick. For those of you who may or may not know, Faye is not a big fan of kittens. I know it's very weird, but she hates kittens. And when I was probably about 16, something was going to happen where I may have had to leave Midwestern. For whatever reason, financially, I wasn't going to be able to stay. And I was nervous that I was going to have to go. But one night we were all goofing around outside and I found this kitten. And I really didn't believe that Mama was afraid of kittens. So I went to try to scare her with one. She got so, she was scared and yelled, and I was, oh my goodness, I was so nervous that she was going to send me away. And so when we got home, I went to my room and I, literally just started thinking, they're going to send me to that orphanage. That is, my life is over. And she came in and she said, first of all, don't do that again. And then she hugged me. So I knew then that, wait a minute, I just made this lady really mad and she still loves me. So that was one of the times I started feeling things were different with these people. So it was because of them, I was able to eventually, open up, accept love, and know that I could be a better person. And I have a desire to give back and help people because of Midwestern. And I think that that's what people should take away from Midwestern. We're all going to have different experiences. But with my particular experience, it's helped me to want to do better and share what I can with other people.
I'm NJ, and I will be talking about how I came to be the person that I am through Midwestern and what Midwestern has done for me. Start off by saying I came to Midwestern in 2013. I was 10 years old, and I was one angry, mad 10-year-old. But little did I know that that 10-year-old would turn out to be me right now these days. So when I first got to Midwestern, as I said, I was very mad because I thought I didn't have anything wrong or to work on or to fix, and thought I was pretty perfect myself. But little did I know, I had lots to work on, and throughout the years, I really started to work on it. When I first got here, I was very rude, had attitude problems. I lied. I didn't know how to make friends or keep friends or what a healthy relationship was. And then throughout the years, I got to experience what love looked like and who to accept and to trust. And Midwestern has really showed me that you can come from the worst, and then you can rise up to be the best once you work on it and let people in and you trust people. And throughout the years, I've seen a lot of other kids go through Midwestern, and I've seen them be just like me. And some kids have turned around for the better, and some kids continue doing what they're doing and they aren't changed. I think the biggest thing about Midwestern is that it is my literal home. No, I do not live at Midwestern right now. I moved about a year ago, and I always come back because that's not my home. This is my home. When I first came to Midwestern and I got to see what the house was like and the whole setup and the system, I was petrified. I was 10 years old, and I would be living with 17, 18, 16, 15-year-olds. It was weird because when you take a 10-year-old with a teenager, it's just a very weird combo. So it was very hard to form a friendship or a relationship with the girls. And it was hard in general to form a relationship with any of the other residents. And everything was large. There was a large table, lots of cups, lots of name tags, and it was overwhelming, but we figured it out over time. But it was a little intimidating, and I was tiny and I had no clue what was going on. When I started realizing that I needed to work on myself and change my life and the way I think and look at life is, it definitely wasn't a one-person fix-it-all. It was definitely a lot of people from Midwestern, multiple house parents, therapists, and leaders here that helped get me to where I am. I have many favorite memories of being here at Midwestern, and a lot of them were good, a lot of them were bad, but one of my top favorite memories is probably when I was 10 years old and I was on the back of Miss Faye's house, and there were these bumps or dents in the road, and I just had this bike and I would just love biking. And so then I would just go really fast, and then one day I braked really hard and then flipped over my bike bars, and then it went into my stomach, and I was on the ground and I couldn't breathe, and I thought I was going up there with him. And then Miss Faye, she calls Mr. Aaron, and she's like, I think she's down, somebody go get her. And Mr. Aaron was like, oh boy. So then he went up there and he got me. He's like, are you still alive? I was like, I'm alive, but I'm barely breathing. I think that was one of my favorite, because it was just funny, and both of them came to my rescue at the same time, and I don't know, it just felt like I was being rescued, and it was pretty fun at the same time.
My name is Destiny. I lived with my biological mom and biological dad until I was 5 years old. When I was 5, until the time I was 15, I lived with my aunt, and I had some behavioral issues, bad attitude problem, just an overall bad kid. And I moved to Midwestern, and I moved in with the Fuquays, and I lived with them until I was 18. So when I first moved here, I did not like the rules. I did not like the fact that I had to live with 6 other girls my age, teenagers. Before Midwestern, I had gone to a different program. It was more of a lockdown residential kind of more like a treatment facility almost. That definitely wasn't my place to be. I didn't thrive there. I didn't make any improvements, anything like that. It actually made me worse, so that when I did come to Midwestern, I was in a worse, spot than I was before. So yeah, Midwestern's been the only thing that's really been able to help me change my life. So when I first moved to Midwestern, I lived with the McClaritys, and I lived with them for roughly about 4 months, and I was just too much for them to handle. I was always getting in trouble and always being put on level 1, and they were done with me. So they sent me across the street to the Fugues, which was a blessing in disguise because they're now my forever family. I think the biggest thing that helped me with the Fugues was understanding that not everybody was bad and out to get me, and some people were there to help me change and wanted the best for me. So in the last week, we have been notified that we have a court date coming up soon, and that court date is for my adoption. So I'm getting adopted by the Fugues. So I'm excited because they've always been my forever family, and although we don't necessarily need to make it a legal thing, and I'm excited to actually become the family, even though I always have been. When I lived in her house, some of the things we bonded over was cooking and watching crime shows like Criminal Minds. And even now we like to still cook together and watch those same shows. So since I've left Midwestern, I have started school. So I'm in school for social work, and I am gonna get married this September, and I'm getting married in the barn on Midwestern campus. So Grumps is walking me down the aisle in my wedding. Scott is going to be the one who's officiating the wedding. And then of course Grams and Grumps are going to be my parents in the wedding. And all of the family that I've met from Withamsville that I was only introduced to by Midwestern is going to be there. So I'm a dog mom to a Chihuahua. She's actually a Chihuahua Pug mix. Her name is Ella. Currently, we may be in the market to get another Chihuahua from the rescue, but I'm not too sure about that. So the first thing that I loved about Midwestern was Henry, the wiener dog. He's so cute with his little legs running around campus, just making his way, just hopping. He's so cute. I think Midwestern's not really a sad place. Like, I think that many people come in sad and may be upset that they may be leaving a different place that they had, that had become normal to them, or a family that become normal to them. But after they get over that initial, little bit of time, it's really not a sad place. Like, everything is supposed to be like family oriented. You're supposed to be rebuilt back into your family, and an actual healthy family, not a institution or, just a bad environment.